Serious people of Reddit who have gone through or are going through cancer. What was the first sign that made you go to the doctor? I was fooling around in a mall as a kid. So my dad grabbed me by the neck to make me behave. He felt a lump on my neck and immediately began to get nervous. We went to the doctor the next day, caught the cancer before it spread, and was able to surgically remove it about a month later. Got super lucky. My sister noticed a small painful lump in her breast shortly after having her second child. Doctor diagnosed a blocked mammary gland. A couple weeks later it still wasn't gone. Again doc said blocked gland. Months later it's still not gone, and she insists on getting a second opinion. Stage 3 breast cancer. Double mastectomy immediately followed by months of agonizing radiation and chemo, only to find out it's now stage 4. She's been stable for a few years, but now it's spreading again, and we don't know how long we have her. Trying to be as positive as possible. My 33-year-old husband was diagnosed with inoperable glioblastoma, most aggressive brain cancer, in January 2019 when he was 31. What caused him to get a check was persistent headache that didn't go away with paracetamols and sleep. We discovered the tumors after taking an MRI. Needless to say, our lives were changed forever. Now we are at the end of our journey, and it's been a harrowing experience for me as his wife and caregiver. It's a lonely journey. I don't wish it upon anyone, and no one has any idea what glioblastoma is like unless they have gone through it. The median survival time is 18 months. We are on our 18th month now, and given days, weeks left. Every day is a gift, and I'm glad I get to be holding his hands every day, even if he's resting and sleeping most of the time. As long as he is not in pain, and that the morphine patches are working, that is fine by me. I can't handle him going through any more pain. Edit. Thank you so much for sharing your stories, giving me strength and support, and I'm so blessed to even be receiving all of your kindness. It's such a touchy subject and I'm hurt all the time, but you guys being so kind really makes me cry happy tears. I'm so touched. I don't know how to describe it, but I feel a little bit lifted, and that's more than I can ask for from the internet. My husband, Victor, would have been so grateful to know that he is loved and supported by more people than he thought he was. Thank you. Edit. The 2nd of August. Victor has passed away yesterday, on the 1st of August, 7:43 p.m. Swedish time. He was surrounded by his brother and me, and smiled a lot to the very end. At his final resting position, his face looked relaxed, and a little smile can be seen by us too. I'm still in shock, processing what has happened to us. It'll take the time I need to process this and grieve. I just miss my husband. I miss his laughs. I miss his smile. I feel loved. I know I'm loved. So that's keeping me together. Thank you so much for your kind support. Even though we are strangers on the internet, I'm both saddened and moved by the generosity of others to offer support, love, and to bear their personal pain related to GBM cancer loss in general. Thank you. May Victor find peace. I know he's not in pain now. My head and neck area became very swollen. At first I thought I was just getting fat, so I worked out a lot and ate better. This did not help. I also went to a local clinic, and they thought it might be an allergic reaction, and gave me steroids, which also didn't help. The thing that finally made me go to the emergency room and not leave until I had an answer is that I started to develop unexplained bruises on my chest. Turns out I had a huge tumor in my chest which had grown around my heart and was compressing the superior vena cava, so blood couldn't flow back down from my head. Not great. The good news is that it turned out to be very treatable, and I've been cancer free for 11 years now. Funnily enough, it was a totally unrelated lump. Nope, that lump is fine, just a lipoma. However, we found another lump in the corner of yours, Ray, and we need to biopsy it. Super heavy periods that would last for 10 or more days. Got an IUD to help control bleeding. Actually hemorrhaged so bad the IUD came out. Endometrial seems a huge tumor in my uterus. Ladies, it's not normal to need a tampon and pad at the same time. It's not normal to need to change them every 10 minutes or even every hour. An average period is 2-3 tablespoons, just for reference. Sorry if TMI. Edited to add. Thank you for the well wishes. I'm 1 year Ned, no evidence of disease. I was diagnosed at 40. I wish I could respond to everyone. The main takeaway is, if something is not right, keep looking for answers in the right physician. Heavy periods do not usually mean cancer in premenopausal women, but there is no reason to suffer through them. Postmenopausal women should not experience any bleeding. One drop and you should go to the doctor right away. On Christmas Eve 2018, my dad lost the ability to talk except for the phrase "this is crazy." Called paramedics because we thought he'd had a stroke. Got him to the hospital where the imaging showed a brain tumor on the outside edge of his brain. The swelling caused him to have a seizure. He was transferred to a bigger local hospital. They did full body scans. Because it's pretty rare to just have brain cancer, usually it's a secondary for another cancer site. We got lucky in that it was the sole spot. Went through a craniotomy and 5 rounds of high dose inpatient chemo, and he's 1 year in remission. Thanks for the awards. My cat found my cancer and bugged me about it until I went to the doctor. My cat has always liked to lay on me and need part of my body with her paws. For 7 years it was random, various parts of my body. Then for about 6 months she started to focus on one spot on my chest. At first I chalked it up to her wanting to be closer to my face, but after a couple months I noticed that the spot she was focused on had become very tender. Then I felt a small lump in that spot. Due to my relatively young age, it took me a couple of months to convince one of my doctors that it was a potential issue, but eventually I got tested and had a pretty giant tumor in that spot plus other tumors elsewhere. Yes, Kitty got lots of cuddles, wet food, and greeners as a thank you. I had a persistent pain in the middle of my sternum. Doctors thought it was costochondritis, essentially just inflammation of a joint. I stopped working out and lifting heavy things for 3 months, but it didn't go away. Eventually I started having night sweats and random aches. After I fractured my hip, I got an MRI and biopsy, and they diagnosed me with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I got chemo, and I've been in remission for 5 years. Edit. I'm seeing a lot of people describing a similar chest pain and getting scared. Not all chest pain is cancer, and not all cancer is chest pain. I felt a pain in my chest because my tumor happened to be growing there. It could just as easily have grown somewhere else, and my story might have started with describing a persistent pain in the middle of my shin. If you're worried about something, talk to your doctor.